Welcome to Flash Tutorial 73, Motorcycle Loop-de-Loop. I'm opening up a new Flash document. I'm selecting ActionScript 3, although there's no ActionScript in this particular tutorial. Setting the height of my stage at 500 and the width at 700. Clicking OK. And the first thing we want to do is make a movie clip. In order to do this tutorial, you have to be able to use the drawing tools. I'm going to open the library up. Down here in the corner it says new symbol, but I don't think you'll pick that up. Click on that and make sure movie clip is selected and call it Biker, B-I-K-E-R _MC. And now we're inside that biker movie clip. And inside this movie clip we have two layers. Take this one over there, don't need this one. There's two layers that I have folders in. I'm going to open them one at a time and just show you quickly how I drew this person on this motorcycle. You'll have to be able to do that. First of all, the rider. I'll actually turn off this motorcycle so you don't get too confused. And you can see I have a lot of layers for this rider. And I'll turn them all off and I'll turn them on one at a time. All these layers are inside the folder called rider. I'll turn them all off and one at a time we'll turn them on. There's his face. He's got a helmet, his gloves, his upper part of his arm, the lower part of his arm. He has a boot. He has a leg. He has an upper part of a leg and a body and an arm in the back. That's my cyclist, the rider. Open up the folder for my motorcycle itself. It has a shifter. You may not be able to pick it up. It's on the bottom of his feet there, under his foot. That's his shifter and his brake. And he has a steering mount for his bike. There's one of the handlebars. There's the other handlebar. He has a front light and a back light. There's the gas tank. It has a frame of sorts. It has a seat for him to sit on, some kind of an engine block, tailpipes, exhaust pipes in here, and a couple of wheels and some more pipes. And I put all that into a folder, and that is my movie clip bike. Back to scene one. Call this first layer red, R-E-D, red ring, R-E-D-R, and we're going to make a loop on this for him to drive through. So let's make the stage 50% so we can get some good perspective. Pick up red for a stroke color, and for my fill, none, right there. Select your oval tool right here. Open the properties panel and we're going to make an oval. So holding your shift button down, make a circle. There it is. Pick up your selection tool, highlight double click on the stroke here and make this 10. Now this is the loop that the biker is going to drive around. And while we have it selected, make sure this chain link is locked, and for the size of the bike, which I'll give you when we bring it on the stage, I have my loop at 345.9. So this will work for the size bike that I give you. While it's selected, open up your alignment panel. If you don't have it here, look under window. There's your alignment panel. Make sure this box is checked, align to stage, and here horizontally align it to center and vertically align it to center. And now it's in the center of my stage. Lock that layer. Insert another layer, call it blue, B-L-U-E-R. This is a ring we're going to make inside of this one here so that we can use it as a guide to guide our motorcycle around this ring. Pick up a blue color for your stroke. Make sure you have your oval tool selected. Holding the shift down, make an oval. It's actually a circle. Select it with your selection tool. Come over here to the properties panel. Put the stroke back down to 1. And here for your widths and heights, again for this setup I have 270.85, and while it's selected I want to align it to center. And if things are going right, lock that layer, select the rid layer, insert a layer, call it bike, B-I-K-E, select that first frame, open the library panel, and there's our biker. Drag him in, and he's going to be way too big. Make sure you have that biker selected. Open the properties panel, and we want to change his height and width. So unlock this. Make my case, my width is going to be 85.65, and my height is going to be 64.55, and that gives me a nice size biker. I'm going to lock this chain again. That gives me a nice size bike and biker. I'm going to go up to 200 and just bring him down and set him so his wheels are just touching inside of that. You see how I got them slightly inside the, they're actually inside like a track is what it's supposed to represent. Take the rid up to here, take the rid and put it on top like that so the biker's behind it. Select our biker again, and see this circle right here? This circle has to be on this blue line. So either make the circle a difference slightly larger in my case, but I'm just going to use my arrow keys in there. And I'm going to bring my biker ahead using my arrow keys. There, I'm happy with that. Unlocking that, locking that layer, and I'm unlocking the blue layer. This one right here. Unlocking it, selecting that frame. Picking up the eraser. I want a small eraser. And I'm just going to, now, remember where that dot was. So let's look at the biker again. Right there's where the dot is, right? So I'm holding my finger there for that dot right there. If you don't know which dot I mean, I'll just use my arrow keys and tab up. It's that dot right there. See it disappear? Okay, I'm putting that back down. Oh, oops. That's because I got 2 frames selected now. I'll lock that blue layer again. Select it. It's this dot. I'm going to bring it down. So right here, hold my finger, locking that layer, unlocking the blue layer, selecting frame 1, picking up the eraser, and I'm erasing. And all I erased was the blue line, a little bit of the blue line. And I'm just going to check with my biker to make sure that he is where he's supposed to be, and there he is on the first of that blue line. Now we're going to make a long tween. So go up to frame 150. Select all 3 layers. Right click insert keyframes. That brings everything up to this point in time. Make sure the only layer that's unlocked is the biker, and make sure you select it. Using your arrow keys, bring them back until that circle is on this blue line back here. Here it is. Come up, click the biker layer right here, right click, create a classic tween. There I have a tween, and if I tween it now, it just goes back and forth because I'm not using my guide yet. So lock that biker's layer. Hopefully this will work. Double click on this till it opens up. This is that blue layer. Make it a guide. Click OK. When you do, a little hammer comes in here. And now let's click on this biker and drag him up to the right. And there we can see our biker. Now he's just kind of silly looking. Click on the tween layer. Open your properties panel and click orient to path. And let's just see what that looks like very quick. It's pretty good. Now we want to make a ramp for him to come in on and a ramp for him to leave on. Make sure all the layers are locked. Select this blue guide layer, insert a layer, and just call this ramp. R-A-M-P, ramp. For now. Go back to frame 1. Let's make this a little more. Okay. Pick up your straight line tool. Straight line tool uses the pencil fill. Pick up a red and open the properties panel, and we want this to be 10. The stroke to be 10. And now put a straight line, start it here, and go right till you got a perfectly straight line. And at this point, don't worry whether it's touching this or not, because we can move it up or down. Select it with your selection tool, and using your arrow keys, put it right on that line, even with that ramp. Now we're going to want the biker to start back here, so lock all the layers. Right click up in here, select all frames, and move them up until, see that line right here that I'm working with, up till that reaches about 45-ish. Now click on the red ramp one here, hold the down, see that fuzzy square I got, bring that back. I need that. I also need this one here, the ramp, but I don't need the other two right now. So this is what we have. Up for 45 frames, we're just seeing the ramp, then we see the biker. Select this frame right here of the biker, this one here. He's highlighted. Get those crosshairs, right click, copy them. Select this frame right here, right click, convert to blank keyframe, and come down here, right click, paste in place. Come here, click that frame, right click, paste in place. Now take that biker, using my arrow keys, I'm putting them back all the way back to here. Clicking in here, create classic tween, and we have that tween going on. So let's give that a test. He's on the ramp, and now we got to get him to come off the ramp. Good. We're going to do something very similar. Bring this up. We want 45 more frames. I thought we were at around 200. Let's click all these and bring them up to about 200. Okay, Now we want to go up to about 245-ish on this one here, and on these two, the top two, which is the ramp and the rear, insert keyframes. So that brings the ramp up. We don't need the guided blue yet, and all we need to do now is the biker, and we do that a very similar way. Select here. This bike layer is unlocked. Highlight them so he's get those crosshairs. Copy them. Select this next frame. Insert a blank keyframe. Down on your stage, paste him in place. There he is. Come up to this last frame. Right click, insert keyframe. And while he's highlighted, arrow keys. And you can take him right off the stage if you want. Let's do that. Let's take him right off the stage. Right click in here, create a classic tween. And if we have him off the stage there, let's go back to frame 1, very beginning, and let's take him off the stage here. Now let's test this and see what this looks like. Goes up, around. Now there's one thing I want to check. Notice here he's it's going too fast. When he comes in here, he's behind. See, he's behind the loop. He's behind the loop there, which is okay. But here he should be in front of the loop, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. He can't be behind it both times. So we got to straighten that out, and that's very easy. Come up here. We'll move the back part. There he is here. Let's take and where you see this red, select that red layer, insert a layer, call it bike, B-I-K-E, and this is going to be bike front, F-R-N-T, where the bike is going to be in front. So we're going to come down, and it's this frames here, this 201. So you're going to click here, drag her all the way up to the end, then get that end at end 1, and you're just going to drag them up into that new layer we made up here. So just click on it, drag it up, and make sure you stay lined up. That's where it was. Now see, it's still here, so we have to click here, drag all these, right click, remove frames. So now they're gone. They're gone. And we have the tween up there, so this should work. Test movie. He's behind it there, and when he comes around, he's in front of it. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.